So
Yeah, awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Any questions, Dr. G, about?
So I'm also. Are you familiar with the 8 dimensions of wellness?
yes.
A little bit. Okay, awesome. So one of the things that really attracted me to the way Metalworks approaches what we do is when you look at the 8 dimensions of wellness, you can
Mm-hmm.
have a person who has a great job, so their career is intact. They have great family relationships; those are
Mm-hmm.
intact. They can even have good financial wellness,
Right.
good management of money. But if they have some type of emotional um, need, or if they have a relational need or a social need, that person is still going to struggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, how do you feel the 8 dimensions of wellness in that approach? Why is it so beneficial in the way that we provide services here at MetalWorks?
It kind of ties back into what you just explained. Just meeting them where they're, if they know, or if we know that emotional wellness is something that they're lacking in,
Mm-hmm.
we can still meet them where they're at and figure out, what's going on as far as like where did the barrier come from?
Right.
Where did, what caused this lack of emotional wellness? And just take, I guess, those baby steps to be able to get them through that process.
Right.
And it's not going to happen instantly. Of course, we all know that. But any small accomplishment is going to be big to them.
Excellent. Excellent. And
Cool.
so, and we use one of Quinten's. I'll use Quinten's term when we're dealing with returning citizens. Something that I noticed before I joined MetalWorks, um, I was asked the question: why do so many returning citizens have such opposition to receiving behavioral health care services? So I listened to some of the staff and engaged with returning citizens, and I heard terms like therapists. I heard terms like psychologists. I
Yeah.
heard terms like PRP, which is psychiatric rehabilitation programming, right?
Yeah.
And they said, well, what's wrong with all of that? I said, well, when you are someone who does not want to be identified as
Right.
being mental health,
Yeah.
as soon as people, as soon as we start using those terms,
Yeah.
PHP, partial hospitalization, I
Right.
say, why can't we just call it the Life Success Academy?
Right.
Is
Yeah.
there some rule that we can't do that?
Yeah. Yeah. You just.
For PHP, why can't we, rather than psychiatric rehabilitation programming for those that are working with returning citizens, let's just call them reentry navigators.
Right.
You with
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
And
That
it
was
takes
smart.
away, it strips away some of the I use your word, Maya, some of the challenges and the obstacles and the pushback
Exactly.
that individuals have to receiving behavioral health care services.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart thing, only because like I'll say in our community, we care about what people, like what people
Think
think,
of us.
what they
Right.
say,
Right.
so especially like I'll say the youth mainly though, like the youth, like the world that we live in, it's like we care specifically what people say. So I think that was a good idea to do. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely as we do continue the relationship build, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to like not even care about what somebody else thinks because we do care about that person in general,
For
right?
sure. For sure.
And so speaking about relationships, do you, with all the knowledge that you have, right? You you have a master's in social work.
Yeah.
Do you
Clinical
not?
counseling.
Sorry. Do you now bring that into your relationships? Whether they be
Yeah.
friendship, personal, work relationships.
I would say yes and no, only because how do I want to say this? Oh, I just drew a blank. I'm sorry. Say the question one more time.
Do you bring your knowledge that you've obtained from having this master's? Do you now bring it into your personal relationships, your work relationships, and your friendship relationships?
So I still say yes and no, but I try not, as far as like setting boundaries with people, of course, I absolutely do that. Even when it may be a struggle for me, and that is a very big struggle for me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just leave it there. Yes and no.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I got a final question for everybody on the podcast. Everyone on the podcast, you guys are well. Y'all knowledge is surpassing most. So I know for sure, in relationships you guys have, relationship that's gone, friendships, family, etc. Do you guys think that? Do you over psychoanalyze? Do you over psychoanalyze? Do you when it comes to a situation with a friend, a family, a significant other, etc. Why and what you think is the reason, or if you do not at all, you start.
So I'm definitely going to say yes. I definitely, when I came into this field, I dove head first. I initially went to college as a math major. I loved math. I wanted to teach math. I wanted to create new formulas for things, right? But then as that started to change, I wanted to learn more about myself. So I dove into psychology.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with ADHD as a young child, and just trying to learn how to manage the world without being able to have any coping skills, without having any guidance with it. So then I would say yes, and I would say it's a very important part because I had a friend who overdosed from fentanyl a couple of years ago, and when I seen the signs, right, I went to go talk to him. I went to his house. Me and my friends, we had the interventions for him, right? Granted, that wasn't enough. These were things that I could never hold past. I could never hold it as if the power was mine.
Right.
Yeah. I felt like I could done it. I did everything that I could have done. So I do believe that carrying it into my everyday life, it does make me more aware. But it does create some challenges because people feel like I might be a little judgy, but I'm just trying to gain a little bit more understanding of them.
Yeah.
Right. Got it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say yes. I do too.
Right.
It's a benefit and a curse, I feel like, because you can never be too sure of things. But sometimes with that, it's like how you said, it's just people come up. People look at me as if I'm judgy, or it's like, okay, you need to chill out a little bit. You know, you're thinking too much into situations, but it's like you really never know what's going on. You really never know as far as, the next steps, what's gonna happen. So yeah, I would say yes, I do.
Yeah. Yep, I do. I think for me specifically, and this may be the wrong thing to do, right? And you guys can help me because I don't necessarily know how to approach a situation like that. Like if I had a friend or whatever the case may be, I think that I would allow them a space, right? And I could be in my brain and I could figure out so many different solutions and analyze the situation. But I think I get still in a sense of like, how do I help? You know what I'm saying? And I could give advice, but like you said, people don't really channel advice, like how you would, or they don't receive it a specific way. So yes, I do overanalyze, but I do fall short of introducing like a helping factor. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say yes and no because I have to when I deal with people or engage with people, we have a couple of different hats that we have to wear. So in my personal life, people try to teach us that to kind of be guarded when you meet new people. And to not be as trusting and so on and so forth. Yeah. Me, I have a different take on that. I think that I try to take a person at face value for what this person in front of me, what they're telling me they are, what they're telling me they can do, blah, blah, blah. As long as their actions match what they're saying, for sure, I'm going to roll with them. I may get, people whispering in my ear, you better watch that person. But I don't try to, because I don't want to judge somebody, right? Yeah. So, but then on the flip side, in this space, which I'm not a clinician, but I know on this space, when I'm talking to somebody and it becomes clear that they are maybe not psychologically whole, if I could use that word, then I do have to go into to kind of overanalyze what they're saying and what the potential impact of me just kind of not really paying attention to what they're saying and getting them connected to some additional supports and services, because we all know what the consequences could be if we don't do everything in our power to get people the help that they need.
Okay, cool. So basically, to answer my question, based off of everything that y'all said, with the person who don't know how to get that person help, it sounds like I should just direct them to Meadow Labs, right?
That's it.
All right, cool. Yeah, so that's gonna wrap up our segment. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, any social media platform. Yeah, we're just happy to have these special guests here, and that's a wrap. See you next time.
Excellent.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.